Well, we are going to begin this hour on Verdict Watch in Delaware as the jury in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial begins its first full day of deliberations. Prosecutors argued that the president's son lied about his drug use when he bought a gun in 2018. His lawyers say that he was not using drugs at the time. The jury began deliberating yesterday afternoon after lawyers on both sides gave closing arguments. So our Scott MacFarlane is joining us now outside of the courthouse in Delaware. All right, there you are. You're on Verdict Watch, Scott. And, you know, we talked a little bit about the closing arguments, but as important as the closing arguments and the arguments on a whole is the jury instructions, are the jury instructions. What did the judge have to say to the jury?
Yeah, the jury instructions are lengthy in federal cases. You read them over the course of sometimes a half hour to an hour. But what the prosecutors reinforced about the jury instructions in their closing arguments is worth noting. That so much of what's been discussed at this case, so much of what is included in this instruction and in this statute is something Hunter Biden acknowledges. He acknowledges he owned the gun in the epicenter of this case. He acknowledges that he was, at one point, a drug addict, and he acknowledges he bought the gun from a federal firearms dealer. So there are a lot of things that are being stipulated here. It comes down to, was Hunter Biden a drug addict and knowingly when he bought that gun in October 2018? The defense has made this argument that Hunter Biden may have been on a road to recovery or moving towards sobriety, so he did not knowingly give false statements when he bought that gun, despite federal prohibitions on drug users and addicts owning a gun. That's what the jury gets to work through beginning this morning in a first full day of deliberations after getting a 1 hour head start yesterday.
Right. And so then, you know, Hunter Biden did not take the stand in his own defense. And what you laid out in terms of what his defense is, you understand why he wouldn't take the stand. All he would probably do is say what he's already acknowledged, that he's had issues with drug addiction. It's all in his book. And then under cross-examination would have been particularly withering, reinforcing the fact that he's, you know, made a lot of bad or questionable life choices. But at the center of the defense's argument is this one little question. Can you just kind of remind us of what that question is and why it's there on that form?
The question on the form is, are you a drug user or addicted to drugs? It's on the federal background check when you buy a firearm in America. What Hunter Biden's defense team has tried to make clear to this jury is that there's a difference between asking somebody, are you a drug user or drug addict, versus have you ever been a drug user or drug addict? That's the narrow battlefield of this fact and of this trial. What the prosecutors have said during the trial and again during closing arguments yesterday is that law does not require you to, be actively using the drugs when you fill out the form. That if you've used it within some close range to the actual submission of the form, you've made a false statement if you don't mark it down. Hunter Biden's team has indicated it may have been quite some time, weeks or months, since there was provable drug use before he filled out that form in October 2018. We'll find out after deliberations if that mattered to this jury, because it is a real needle to thread here for Hunter Biden's team, because prosecutors not only had testimony from Hunter Biden's ex-wife, the widow of his late brother, and a former girlfriend, that he was an active drug user in 2018 and the years before, but they have his own words in which he describes the depths of his drug addiction, the despair of his drug addiction in close proximity to October 2018. The jury did not hear from Hunter Biden himself. He left it to his defense attorneys to make that case through closing arguments.
And Scott, forgive me if you haven't gotten a chance to sort of look into this, but I'm sort of curious as to how often, how frequently people are prosecuted for this sort of thing. I imagine there are all kinds of errors or things that are not correct on these forms all the time. Are people often prosecuted for this?
Oh, we sure did look into that for you, Anne-Marie. People are prosecuted for failure to fill out gun background checks truthfully. It's rare they go to trial, though. in part because these may often be cut and dry cases. You bought the gun, you didn't fill out the form right. Perhaps we have a plea agreement here or have some negotiations about how to dispose of this case before trial. And that's what they tried to do here, Anne-Marie. They were at the precipice of a plea agreement last year, but it collapsed in the same courtroom here at this same courthouse when the judge realized both sides weren't on the same page with what the plea agreement meant. That set us on a course to this 6-day-long trial and the prospect of prison time if he's convicted. Under that plea agreement that was nearly consummated last year, there would have been no prison time for Hunter Biden. A much different outcome is now possible, and a case that is quite rare to bring to trial.
Okay. Thank you so much, Scott.